Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your September 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm actually going to be taking a bit of a break from those, probably at least for the next month. But if I do change my mind, I will make an update in the community section of the channel regarding that. As for what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Cross spread as always, and then I also pulled a couple of Oracle cards and a Mudra card. So we'll get started with the main spread first. The main situation position, we have Justice in reverse. So this is actually the major arcana card for Libra, and for you guys that's your 11th house, so can this be saying that maybe there was some kind of injustice or an imbalance within your friend group, maybe just a group that you're associated with in some way. But really what I'm picking up on for this could just be saying that this could even be you personally feeling a bit out of balance as well. And I would even say this could, for some of you, even be something regarding legality or maybe even in the workplace. Some situation where you feel like you were done wrong. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Hierophant. So this is actually the major arcana card for Taurus. And given that for you guys, Taurus is your 6th house, it can definitely be something in the workplace where you might feel like you were done wrong. Especially because Uranus just started its retrograde in that sign too. But really what I see here with this particular combination, it could just be saying that even if you feel like you were done wrong on like an everyday, day-to-day sense, with the Hierophant in the challenge position, it could just be saying keep the faith that, you know, what may not have come out in a just way in, you know, an earthly sense, in more of a spiritual sense, it was seen. So for example, if someone, alright, here's just a generic example because I don't know if that made much sense the way I said it, so hopefully this will help. But let's say that you guys were cheated out of money in some way, shape, or form, right? And, you know, even if you go through the legal system and it seems like they don't, you know, rule in your favor, with this coming up in the challenger obstacle position, it could just be saying keep the faith, because on a karmic sense, that was seen, and you will actually be compensated for it in a different way. So like just a generic example, if it doesn't involve legalities, like let's say you lent a friend $100, oh yeah, I'm totally going to pay you back. They never do, right? They always have excuses for, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you back, and they never do. And then randomly you go like buy a scratch off ticket and you win like $500 or something like that. You know, just a generic example. But I feel like this is saying, regardless of what the exact dynamic is, that the challenge for you is to keep the faith, because I do see things will actually turn out in your favor. Especially we do have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. And given that this represents Jupiter, which is your ruler, we're going to see Jupiter going direct again in the middle of the month. So that would also help too. So something to keep in mind there. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the Four of Swords. So this is actually more Libra energy here. So to me, it looks like it's saying that you can be recovering from something. Of course, naturally, this is the card that comes after the Three of Swords. So some of you might have gone through a heartbreak, some disappointment. Could have been involving this situation. So yeah, for some of you, definitely could have been an actual romantic relationship. But really, for more of you, I'm feeling like this is related to finances. And possibly the workplace as well, obviously. But yeah. Whatever it is, it looks like you guys are just resting, recuperating from the situation, and that could be what's best for the time being too. Especially you guys are going to have that full moon coming up early in September in your 4th house too of Pisces, so that's probably a good time to just stay home, relax, recuperate too. In the past position, we have the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. So this could be a clear indicator of what was going on, right? Now the Emperor, let's say if that represents a boss in your workplace, right? Just a generic example. And maybe they've been promising you a raise, right, for a long time. Oh yeah, we're totally going to give you a raise. But then they start claiming that they don't have enough money to do so, right? So let's say that that represents the money that they say that they have to spare, but really they have a lot more, you know, and they're just basically BSing you that, oh yeah, totally, we're going to give you that money. So what stands out to me with that is You know, of course, this being Aries energy opposite the Libra energy, but the Hierophant in the specific position that it's in this reading is pointing right toward the Emperor. So that's where I was getting that vibe of, like I was saying, where even if you feel like in an earthly sense, no one's on your side regarding this situation, I feel like it's saying that karmically, whatever this person did, it was seen, and you know they'll get their comeuppance from that too. So just something to keep in mind too. And hey, to be perfectly fair, for some of you this might have been you, so something to keep in mind there as well, that you might think, oh, all right, you might have gotten away with something, but I'm just really getting that vibe that the karma is going to come around on this situation. Try to see what else comes to mind with this. For some of you, it can be an old romantic wound that you guys might have as well, and it could be in a way keeping you back from getting into relationships now, you know, and that could be what the Hierophant is pointing to there, saying that it's difficult for you to get that balance in your romantic life because you still haven't let go of a past situation where you might have been done wrong. And if that's the case, you know, like I said, karmically it looks like things will pan out, but just another thing I'm seeing there. In the present position, we have the Seven of Cups, so this could represent some confusion on your part. Maybe there are a lot of options at play and you're not quite sure which way to go. What always stands out to me is the fact that we can see quite clearly what's in those cups, right? But this person's quite literally in the dark. So I feel like it's saying that, you know, you might have these options in front of you, but you might not know or feel comfortable with which way to go. And like I said, we are going to have that Pisces full moon, so that kind of reminds me of that energy there. And then also for you guys, this is Scorpio energy. And for you guys, Scorpio is your 12th house too. So there could just be a lot of confusion, you know, not quite sure which way to go yet. And maybe that's another indicator pointing to, for the time being at least, maybe it is best to just take a little rest, recuperate, and regain your footing, especially if that Justice in reverse just represents you guys in general feeling a bit out of balance, right? And like I said, that could be the case with your ruler. Pretty much it's going to be standing still for a good part of September and then finally go direct again. So that could have you feeling out of sorts too. All right, in the near future position, we have the Three of Wands, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So interesting progression there, right? We see the energy. This is more Aries energy here, so some of you could be dealing with an Aries, or this could just be pointing to, for given that that's fifth house energy for you guys around romance, creativity. But all right, so here's a few different ways I could see these energies playing out. One could be saying if you're waiting for a love offer to come in, right? But then the tricky part might be it actually comes your way. You start to overthink things, and then it actually pretty much ends before it even gets a chance to start. I would say that scenario would fit those of you where, like I said, if that Emperor and Seven of Swords represents a past hurt that you guys haven't gotten past, in which case that Four of Swords is definitely going to be beneficial for you guys to actually take that time out to actually really truly heal from it before moving forward. Let me see what else comes to mind with this. Some of you, this can be related to finances as well. I would say if you guys are thinking of investing with someone, I would say maybe hold off on that this month, because I could view that as well, where, you know, maybe you invest with someone, you might have missed something as far as fine print or something, and then all of a sudden, you know, because of that, it ends up backfiring on you. So that would be just in a financial sense. So, you know, if you're thinking about entering into any financial contracts, if you can avoid it, try to wait a little longer. Let's see what else we have here. And I will say, if this is more of a situation where you have an interest in someone, but for whatever reason you're trying to wait for them to come forward to you, it could just be saying in that regard that it might just be better off for you to actually approach them, because I feel like just the waiting is just going to cause you all kinds of anxiety, and then, you know, you might end up waiting too long, and then that might end up throwing the opportunity off as well. So hopefully those made sense. There's a lot of energy there, a lot of cards, but I think I covered everything. The present position, or rather the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this is actually Sagittarius energy, and again, we see the fact that it's in reverse. So like I said, for some reason, you guys just might be feeling really out of sorts this month, maybe a bit withdrawn, not communicating too much. And like I said, for most cases, I do feel like that might be what's best. Seeing the Four of Swords there, to me, as the foundation, saying take that rest if you need to. The Seven of Cups saying maybe you're not quite seeing things too clearly, right? So that's usually a good time to not act on things. And it might even be just as simple as waiting for that full moon energy to pass in Pisces, which again, it'll be pretty early on in September. That's the good thing. So let's say maybe by mid-month, especially that's around when your ruler is going to start going direct again too. So it could just be saying that maybe until mid-month, it is best to just withdraw a little bit and take your time around things. But yeah, this could just be saying that you're not communicating much, not taking much action at this time. In the environment position, we have the Four of Wands, more Aries energy there, and then we have the Nine of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. So we see more Sag energy. At least this time it's in the upright, but it's still not the most comfortable energy, right? So for a lot of you, I feel like this is you. And it could just be saying that there's, at the very least, I feel like you have a hope for something, right? Like, okay, this has potential, right? But at the same time, you're still guarded. So again, that could definitely be for those of you where, like I said, if this is around a romantic relationship, but in the past you might have been done wrong by someone, so you're still not quite over it yet. But it's saying that that potential is definitely there. It just seems like you're a little guarded. So it's like, all right, you can kind of see the interest, right? Like you're looking over there, but like, I don't know if I want to do this. So that could be why you're a bit shut down and quiet too. And for others of you, like I was saying, where if you were done wrong in some way around finances, this could just be saying another indicator that, hey, even if it's not directly from the source, right? Like I said, we went over a few examples, however weird they may have been, but just saying that, okay, even if it doesn't come directly from the original source, things will come your way. But I feel like this is again saying that you might not feel confident that that's going to happen. So just something to keep in mind there. Either way, I feel like this is pretty positive energy in the environment position. Like I said, the only really situation where I see you guys needing to take action would be more in a romantic sense if there's someone you're interested in. But even then, it doesn't have to be drastic action as far as if you don't feel fully comfortable going out there and, expressing yourself to them. It could even just be as simple as keeping the lines of communication open with them, and then maybe even things will just unfold in a more natural way. So you don't have to necessarily put pressure on yourself to go all out and really put your heart on the line, but it could just be saying keep the wheel rolling, right, with the wheel of fortune. They're saying that, so at least the connection doesn't die out because you're totally like a deer in headlights in the situation, and then the person just thinks, oh, I guess they're not interested and moves on. All right, in the hopes or fears position, a lot of cards came up. We have the Six of Wands, King of Wands, Four of Cups, and Five of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting energies here. This is Leo energy for one, and represents an energy of victory, recognition, being in the spotlight in some way. King of Wands, again, almost the same concept, right? More Leo energy, but again, that success. So it could be like one of those things where maybe you get passed up for promotion. It's just a generic example again, right? Maybe you get passed up for a promotion or job offers, right? Maybe you put your resume out there and the job offers you want don't seem to be coming in. But then it could just be saying that eventually you're going to get that one. It might take a little longer than you'd hoped. But I feel like with this Five of Pentacles in reverse, could just be saying that, maybe when you least expect it. I mean, if we look at the body language of this person, it looks like they're not expecting anything good to come their way, right? They're just sitting there like, okay, more of the same crap I don't want. But with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, could be an indicator that, okay, if you're going through some tough times, right? Obviously in the upright, we would see that energy. With this in reverse, could just be saying that it's coming to an end. Now, keep in mind this is just a hopes or fears, so it's just more something in your mind, I would say. But at the same time, there are definitely some cards that would support that. Like I said, even if just on a karmic level, things will turn around in your favor if you were done wrong in some way. And in a weird way, this could be, again, being torn around a connection with someone too. You know, like wanting. It's weird. Like, I feel like this thing where you want them to pursue you, you know what I mean? With that Six of Wands, the King of Wands, and even maybe even to be able to reject them. However weird, this is where it gets a little weird, but like, you want them to pursue you, but then you totally want to be able to reject them, right? But then eventually, okay, come out of the cold with them too. So I don't know. That just feels a little weird to me. Hopefully that made sense for someone out there, but that's just what I was feeling. All right, and then in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is actually the court card for Capricorn, and for you guys, that is your house of finances. So again, like I said, I do feel like this represents that if you were done wrong in the area of finances, it looks like it will come back around your way in a positive way. Like I said, even if it wasn't directly from the source that originally threw things off to begin with, but that's good energy to see there. And then Capricorn being the natural ruler of the 10th house, you guys are actually going to have a new moon in your 10th house as well, toward the end of Virgo season. And that new moon is going to make supportive aspects with a couple of planets in Capricorn as well. So that could actually be a good thing financially for you guys too. So keep an eye out for that new moon in Virgo. All right, moving on to the oracle cards. First, we have No Place Like Home. There's the artwork, and the number is 50. Okay, it says authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. The Oracle's message: home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity, aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are. You hold your head high, yet neither with pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit. So definitely an interesting message there. And again, that makes me think of what I was saying, that you guys are going to have that full moon in your 4th house of Pisces, which is the house that generally represents home naturally. So like I said, especially if you guys feel like you do need to take a rest and just recuperate from whatever situation you might feel was an injustice, could just be saying that that's the best thing to do. And like I said, by the time we get to mid-month, you should see the momentum improving. All right, and the relationship message says lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together you add to the love of the world. So definitely a pretty positive message there, and that's what I was saying. As far as for some of you, there could be someone new in the picture, and like I said, if there really is just something unresolved from the past that's preventing you from moving forward, I mean, there's no timetable to tell someone when to move forward fully, right? But I feel like the vibe that I was getting there was to say, even if you're not fully comfortable jumping in, it could just be saying that at least keep the lines of communication open with the person so they don't completely think you're disinterested, and then maybe you'll just find that you gradually get more comfortable with them anyway. All right, the prosperity message says when you act in an authentic way, you command the world to reflect back to you exactly what is in your highest good. Your business choices, the investments you make, and the creative projects you immerse yourself in are powerfully on point. Why? Because when you are fully yourself, radically accepting everything in your journey to date, both successes and failures, you will see the divinity in all things. Abundance is a natural progression when you experience this kind of authenticity. All right, definitely a good message there. And like I said, for those of you where this justice and the Seven of Cups means that you guys are out of sorts in some way, like I said, keep in mind that your planet's, pretty much at a standstill in September, and then it's going to move forward. So that could have you guys feeling a bit turned around too. So even that should pick up some steam with time. So if you're just not feeling like yourselves, right, with that Seven of Cups, feeling a little confused, could just be saying try to ride that energy out for a bit. Probably after a couple weeks, you'll be feeling better anyway. All right, moving on to the next card we have. We have Mouse Spirit. It says 10 to the small things. There's the artwork, and the number is 40. It's another thing that makes me think of that home energy, right? So let's see what it says. Okay, it says the humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and Mouse Spirit calls on you to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside of you that says, "This doesn't feel right." Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage others or operate in the world that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse Spirit reminds you that what seems small may be more important and more powerful than you think, so look again. Do not underestimate yourself or your potential for co-creating something amazing when you pay attention to the details. So definitely an interesting message there too. And the whole pay attention to the details thing, like I said, if you guys just feel like you can't really do that, like things are a little fuzzy for you, I feel for most of you that'll probably clear right after that full moon, which is early in the month. So again, another indicator that, like I said, I feel like if you need to just take a little time for yourself, definitely you could do so, especially early in the month, and then you might feel like things progress in a more beneficial way from there. So hopefully that resonated as well. And finally, we have a Mudra for your sign. So the Mudra you guys got is the Mandala Mudra. There it is there. Keyword for it is vision. Alright, so a lot of info on this card, but if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can. And under benefits, it says awakens supreme devotion and enlightened attitude, improves concentration, evokes insight into the transitory nature of all things, serves as a physical expression of our own original nature. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the Mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.